Hi. If you're looking to build database projects, API Logic Server can help. It creates working software now, an API, a web app, with unique spreadsheet-like rules that are remarkably more concise than code. In this demo, we'll show how to use VS Code to create API Logic Server projects, debug them, and customize them. API Logic Server executes in a Docker container that includes Python. VS Code provides remote container support, which means your source exists on localhost and eliminates the need to install Python. We begin by starting the API Logic Server Docker container. This provides access to the create command. We use the default database and project name, and the project is created. API Logic Server has introspected the database and created our project. We now exit the container and load the created project. It's pre-configured for the container. VS Code notices this and suggests that we reopen the project in that container. We do so. We created several launch configurations. One was the basic web app. So we start that up. And then we can preview it in a browser. We log in with admin, P. And now we can run our web app. Maybe we look at the customers, a filterable list. We can zoom in on a customer, look at their details, list the orders for that customer, so multi-page, multi-table applications. We can list the order detail, and there we see the automatic joins. We can stop that and now run the API server. And it's available through Swagger. Again, we launch our browser. We can just pick at random the first table. We see we have get, post, put, and patch, and delete. We can try it out. And here we go. Mobile web app unblocked. What's great about running in VS Code is you can look at the project files written in Python. Here, this is the logic. And what's amazing is that these 5 rules represent the same logic as over 200 lines of code. As shown here, you build the rules with code completion. Both the rule, the objects or tables, and the attributes within the table. So this is a spreadsheet-like rule that the customer's balance is the sum, the order's amount total is the sum of the order detail amounts. Logic consists of rules plus Python. Here's an event we have, and we'll set a breakpoint. In addition to customizing the logic, we can customize the API by adding endpoints. Here we're going to add an add order endpoint. There in the YAML, you see the default data for when we post. We'll see it in a moment. And we can set a breakpoint. Now, if we go back to our Swagger, I almost forgot to mention, we always, for companies that desperately need it, want to take a look at the 3 or 4 lines of code it takes to build Hello World. So now let's go back to our Swagger and go down to the services endpoint that we just looked at. And the particular endpoint was adding an order. So we can try it. Notice the YAML produced our test data. So we just press execute. And it hits our breakpoint. So this is the breakpoint in the API. We can look at the arguments and so forth. We can continue execution. And now we'll hit the breakpoint in the logic. Here we'll see, for example, the entire contents of the row variable, so we can see exactly how our logic is behaving. If we complete the transaction, the other element that allows you to debug logic is a very detailed logic log, where you can see here the chaining as the multi-table transaction is submitted to the set of rules. So there you have it. Instead of weeks or months, we built our API and web app in moments. We saw how to use Visual Studio Code to customize the API and logic and to debug. It all ran in a container which already includes Python, so there's no need to install Python in either the development or production environment. Thanks for watching.